Good day everyone. I'm Nick, moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is Fair Lending School. I would now like to introduce our presenter for today, Justin T. Muscoleno. Justin brings over 20 years of wide-ranging experience in compliance, training and regulation in the banking sector. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Justin.
All right. Thank you very much for the introduction. And I want to welcome everybody today to Fair Lending. I call it Fair Lending School because we're going to go over the umbrella of regulations and talk through each one. We're going to first go over an overview of fair lending, what it entails, kind of the ins and outs of it. Then we'll go through the umbrella of regulations, which consists of 5 total, and we'll go through each one. Legal discrimination is a big part of this, so there'll be a little bit of focus there. And then we'll go through other regulatory matters as well, and then we'll tie things up. Let's go through a quick overview of fair lending. It really encompasses a group of laws and regulations that prohibit discrimination really in the extension of credit. Fair lending is about institutions just treating everybody the same. No differences at all. The 5 regulations we'll talk about today, which you see on your screen, is the Fair Housing Act, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, the Americans with Disability Act, Community Reinvestment Act, and Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. Let's talk about the different types of discrimination. Discrimination against home renters and buyers by, landlords and lenders, on account of race, color, religion, nationality. So this was originally outlawed by the Fair Housing Act in 1968. Now, for lending purposes, illegal discrimination takes place when individuals with a similar credit background are treated differently based on certain types of characteristics. Now, there are 3 types of illegal discrimination: overt, disparate treatment, and disparate impact. The first one is overt. Overt discrimination occurs when a consumer is openly or actively discriminated against on a prohibited basis. Now let's get into the first of the 5 fair lending regulations. First one is Fair Housing Act, or FHA. The goal of the FHA is really to help limit discriminatory practices related to renting or buying a home or getting a mortgage, seeking housing assistance or any other type of housing activities. The next one is ECOA. Again, Equal Credit Opportunity Act. ECOA, it's a law that was created by the government with the aim of giving all individuals an equal opportunity to obtain loans or other types of credit from financial institutions and lenders. The next one we're going to do is ADA. Now, ADA has a broad reach. The ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, now it came out in 1990. The goal of it was to prohibit discrimination against people with disabilities. So number 4 is CRA, Community Reinvestment Act. CRA has been around since 1977, and again, it is a federal law. Now, the purpose of the CRA is to encourage banks, financial institutions to meet the credit needs of low and moderate income neighborhoods. It applies to, any FDIC insured depository institution. And, this includes national banks, state chartered banks, and, savings associations. The last one we're going to focus on is Home Mortgage Disclosure Act, HMDA. So again, a federal act that came about in the 70s Now, this requires mortgage lenders to keep records of certain key pieces of information regarding their lending practices. Now, but HMDA submissions, they also provide a means for analyzing like government resources, ensuring that resources are appropriately allocated. That's HMDA. So that's the umbrella of the fair lending, well, the 5 components of the umbrella. Now, as far as what's next, it really depends on the administration. Now, there have been some changes lately. Now, if he leaves office in 2024, we might see another change. So it's really dictated by the administration. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for attending today. If you need more information, go to the regulatory website, and you might even want to put up a feed.
Thank you, Justin. That does conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day ahead.